My name is Cecilia Mbati and I am vying for the Westlands MP seat. I am a design and build consultant and a strategist by profession. My top manifesto for children is access to quality education.
Hello and welcome to Playground Chat. This week I am your host Bishira Ngai and we will be talking to Cecilia Mbati. Welcome Cecilia.
Thank you, Michelle.
Can you kindly introduce yourself and the position you're vying for?
Yeah, my name is Cecilia Mbati and I am vying for the Westlands MP seat. I am a design and build consultant and a strategist by profession.
Okay. Seeing this is total news, we would like to ask, what is your top manifesto for children?
My top manifesto for children is access to quality education. We all know the kind of education that we have in the country, and although we have had good milestones and the government has done well in giving free primary education, but we still have a lot to go. When I talk about quality and access, I actually look at it in a way that it's not just about children accessing school, but it's about also the quality of education they get, the classrooms that we have available, the curricula, you see, that is in school. Is it a curricula that will help the children in future? You see, talent development in school in itself, you know, those are small aspects that are in education. We need them to be quality, not just for the sake of education, but they have to be quality. Yes, and that is my top priority, especially for the children.
Okay.
Yes.
And seeing like this is like something that has been done everywhere, everybody is talking about it. What is your take on the reintroduction of corporal punishment?
It's my take is corporal punishment in reintroduction. I'm not for it so much. I would say if it has to be introduced, it has to be introduced with measures. Yeah, we know why corporal punishment was removed in the first place. Yeah, because there was excessive violence, especially to children. And I know the Bible says that, you know, you need to have a rod, introduce a rod to the child, you know, to correct. But it has to be measured. It has to be in a measurable place. We see a lot of children who are wayward, and people are just putting it onto corporal punishment. I think it is a matter of, you know, the age that we are in. We are not the same as we used to be, and it's also a matter of how the institutions, the learning institutions, are looking at corporal punishment, right? You see, we have qualified teachers who are trained. I don't believe, I'm not a teacher myself, but I don't believe there is a subject called corporal punishment when they are doing their craft, you see? Yes. So they really don't know how to punish children, especially using the cane, see? And so I'm not so much for the reintroduction unless we train these teachers on how to punish children, you see. Then we know that they know what they're doing to avoid scenarios where children are being hurt, children are being punished. And I can say where I am, I was part of that system where we had corporal punishment. And we were beaten. It is not a joke, you know. The children right now don't know, but it's not a joke. I remember we were in a class, a certain class where our mathematics teacher would come and he had papers marked, and he would stand there and say, if you got below 50, and that is an example, you are going to get the canes that you missed to get to the pass mark. So you can imagine there was someone who got 3%. How many canes will that child get? And he was for real. It's like he was on something. He would beat even for 50 canes one person, you know. And that's not the kind of punishment I would advocate for sincerely. And that is why my stand is, we need to have it measured. If it has to be brought back, it has to be brought back in a way that it is controlled. Yes.
So what is your motivation, your main motivation for running for the MP seat?
My main motivation is that I'm going to have an opportunity to be a change maker. And I have been a change maker in my own sphere of influence. And wherever I have been, I've been looking so much, you know, for the young people, for the women, for new faces to come up in politics and to represent the people, and let us see how much change we can achieve. Being in a position to be a change maker is motivation enough for me, that I know I can affect a number of people, maybe 10,000, 2,000 for the better, that it can change their lives. That even when I go to parliament, I work on pro-people laws that are going to empower people. You see, for example, when I look at some of the laws that I think and are in my manifesto and I stand so firmly for, are laws to do with quality of education that I've talked about, access, and just not in primary school, but even as you go ahead, even as you go to secondary and even specifically the university. You see the issue of help has been coming up. We need our children to be able to access those loans, but in a cheaper, with a cheaper interest, you know. We need to see women and the youth access loans with cheaper interest, you know. We need to see them access funds, grants, to be able to help them open up businesses. The major problem in our country has been employment. And as people go through education, you see, in the hope that they are going to secure something. But when you get out here, there is nothing, you know. So such laws that are going to enable even young men and women out here to start businesses, you see, having things like tax holidays, you know, for young ones for the young men when they're starting businesses, it's timely. And this kind of laws are the ones that I would like to go personally and push for. You know, access to, we have not even gone to access to things like access to water. You know, I have been around my constituency. I have gone to wards that like a ward like Kangemi right now doesn't have water. It is a big problem. What laws are we going to put there, you know, to enable that these people get water, you know? Those are the kind of laws that I'm going for. You know, pro-people, let the people benefit, let the people feel, you know, we always talk about power to the people. It has been talk. And I've been part of the lobby groups, many lobby groups that have been lobbying for, you know, fresh leadership, for good new ideas. And now I'm presenting myself after a long time of talking from the back. Now I'm presenting myself to be there, to walk the talk and represent these young men, represent the young ladies, represent the women, represent the men to get good, you know, good laws that are going to benefit them. Yes.
Then, how will you ensure that children will be safe during and after the election?
The safety of children is a key area that you know, we must look at even as a society. But on my part, I usually say safety begins with me and you know, even as you go into elections. It's mostly public education, you know, to educate the parents, because, you know, now the children are under the care of the parents. You see, the children are only safe when the parents are safe. Yes. So if the parents are safe, then the children are good. To educate the parents on how to have safety, to call upon the safety, you know, arms to be vigilant, not to allow, you know, or to even entertain. Because you see, things like safety are, especially during elections, are things that are entertained, you know. When we see a rally during campaign and people are fighting and we accept it, now it moves from the ground to the homes, you see. So people now will get that courage. So what in my personal capacity I would do is to work closely with the stakeholders, you know, who are majorly the police, and we have wazee wa mitaa who are also, you know, the chiefs who are also part of this, you know, security, to ensure that, you know, we put safety first. We do not first entertain any form of violence against anybody, because if we entertain any form of violence, let's say against a man, tomorrow we're going to entertain it against a woman, tomorrow we'll entertain it towards a child, you see. So not being able to entertain and putting to book the culprits, the people who are violent, who are showing violent tendency, yes, putting them to book and let them, you know, face the law. You know, that is the only way I see we can curtail this the safety of the children. Yes.
So what is your final take?
My final take matters politics. I usually say that the future of our children is with us. We were told, the youth, we are the leaders of tomorrow. But we've never seen the tomorrow coming, okay? But right now it is a time that we have said, as the youth of this country, the youthful population of this country, yes, the time is now to take up the mantle, you see, to bring our ideas on board, you know, that this is what we can do for our nation, to be able to grow, to be able to take our families to the next level, you know, to be able to protect our children, to be able to see a better future. We have to be on ground. We have to come out, you know, and get into this space, because politics is an everyday thing. When we buy clothes, when we buy food, when you go to the markets, when we live in our own houses, it's all about politics. The prices of food stuff in this country, the access to education, you know, the state of roads, it's about politics. So we can never fold our hands and say that we will not participate. I would just like to add, especially the young people, and right now I'm talking to the age group that is between 18 and 24. I know we are a different millennia, but take part in this process, because you are the future. In the next 30 years, most of these people you see will not be there. But if you're not able to come right now, you see, Nishiri, the way where you are, come out and bring your voice. You see, say, this is what I want. You see, meet fellow children in, let's say, the playgrounds. You see, come with a one voice and say, the children of this country will want this. You know, let your voices be heard. See. So I'm talking to the youth, I'm talking to the children, let your voices be heard. Don't be afraid, because you are going to shape the politics of this country. And even to any other people, you know, look at the leaders that we have. Look at the choices that you have. You know, it's not about handouts. Anybody can give handouts. Anybody can go somewhere and get money and come and give handouts. Look at the caliber of leadership that you want. You know, check their past. Check their what they have been doing. Have they been doing right? You know, then make your decision based on what this leader can do for me, based on their manifesto and based on their agendas. So that it's not about psychophancy, you know, it's about choosing a leader that can actually take you where you are because they have a track record of doing that. Yes. So my final take is that look for leaders, especially during this election, look for leaders that have a track record, that have integrity, and that are willing to serve from the heart. And you know them. Let's go for those leaders and let's try them and let's see what we can get.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cecilia, for ordering our invite and coming to answer our questions. And thank you very much for watching this video. I have been your host, Bishir Ngai, and we'll see you next week. Bye.